Have you ever felt like you're living the same day over and over again? Why do some people break free and build extraordinary lives, while others stay trapped in the same patterns year after year? What if I told you that the greatest threat to your future isn't failure, but the silent suffocation of comfort? Today, I want to share a story that might change everything you believe about safety and risk. Marcus Chen was 28 years old when he realized he had stopped living. Every morning at 6:45 a.m. his alarm would sound. He'd hit snooze twice, shower, dress in one of his 5 rotation shirts, grab coffee from the same corner shop, and arrive at his desk by 8:30. For 6 years, Marcus had worked as a data analyst at a mid-sized insurance company. The job was fine, the pay was decent, his co-workers were pleasant, and that was precisely the problem. Marcus had dreams once. He'd wanted to start a digital marketing agency, to travel, to build something meaningful. But somewhere between student loans and auto-pay bills, those dreams had faded into background noise. His life had become a perfectly temperature-controlled routine, and he hadn't even noticed when he'd stopped feeling alive. The breaking point came on a Tuesday afternoon. Marcus was updating a spreadsheet he'd updated hundreds of times before when his phone buzzed. It was a notification from social media, a former college roommate announcing the launch of his 3rd successful startup. Marcus felt something crack inside his chest. Not jealousy exactly, but a profound recognition of loss. He'd been choosing safety over growth for so long that he'd forgotten what it felt like to want something badly enough to risk failure. That evening, Marcus did something unusual. Instead of going straight home, he walked into a small bookstore that had opened near his apartment. An older man with silver hair and weathered hands was arranging books near the window. His name tag read William. They struck up a conversation, and somehow Marcus found himself confessing his frustration to this stranger. William listened quietly, then smiled. "Let me show you something," he said, leading Marcus to the back of the store where a large aquarium sat against the wall. Inside, a small orange fish swam in endless circles. "I've had this fish for 3 years," William said. "Do you know what would happen if I put him in the ocean?" Marcus shook his head. "He'd probably die," William continued. "Not because the ocean is dangerous, but because he's spent so long in this tank that his muscles have weakened. His instincts have dulled. He's adapted to safety, and that adaptation has made him incapable of handling the very environment he was designed for." William turned to Marcus with knowing eyes. "Your comfort zone is exactly like this aquarium. Every day you stay inside it, you become a little less capable of handling the larger world. You're not preserving yourself, you're slowly becoming smaller. Si esta historia está resonando contigo, por favor, deja un me gusta en este video, suscríbete al canal para más historias que transforman vidas, y comenta de qué ciudad nos estás viendo. Tu apoyo significa mucho." The words hit Marcus like cold water. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the fish, about himself swimming in circles, about the dreams he'd shelved because they felt too risky. The next morning, Marcus made a decision. He wouldn't quit his job immediately, that would be reckless, but he would start taking action. Real action. He pulled out an old notebook where he'd sketched business ideas years ago and set a timer for 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes of work on his agency concept before work each day. It felt terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. The first week was brutal. Marcus's alarm now rang at 5:30 a.m. His body protested. His mind invented 1,000 excuses. "You're too tired. Start Monday. This is foolish. You have a good job." But he forced himself to sit at his desk, to write one email to a potential client, to design one mock-up, to research one competitor. 30 minutes. That was all. William's fish haunted him. He refused to keep swimming in circles. By week 3, something shifted. The 30 minutes started feeling less like torture and more like the only real part of his day. Marcus landed his first freelance client, a small project that paid $500. It wasn't much, but it was proof. Proof that he could do this. Proof that the world outside his aquarium was survivable. He started waking up before his alarm, eager to work on his projects. His co-workers noticed a change in his energy. His manager even asked if he'd gotten a new haircut or started working out. "Something's different about you," she said. Marcus just smiled. 6 months later, Marcus had built a portfolio of 12 clients. His side income had grown to match his salary. He'd learned more about marketing, sales and business in half a year than he had in 6 years of corporate safety. The fear hadn't disappeared, but he'd learned to use it as fuel rather than letting it paralyze him. One Sunday morning, Marcus returned to Williams' bookstore. The older man was there, arranging a new shipment of books. "I wanted to thank you," Marcus said. "For the fish story. It changed everything." William gestured to the back of the store. The aquarium was gone. In its place sat a beautifully framed photograph of an ocean reef, vibrant with life and color. "I released him," William said quietly. "Took him to a rehabilitation center that prepares aquarium fish for ocean release. They retrain their muscles, reawaken their instincts. It takes months, but it works. He's swimming in the Atlantic now." He looked at Marcus. "And you? Are you still in your tank?" Marcus pulled out his phone and showed William his resignation letter, scheduled to send the next morning. "I'm scared," he admitted. "Terrified, actually, but I'd rather risk drowning in the ocean than slowly suffocate in safety." William clapped him on the shoulder. "That's not courage, son. That's just remembering what you were built for." 12 months after that conversation, Marcus's agency had 15 employees. He'd traveled to 4 countries for client meetings. He'd failed at 2 major pitches and learned more from those failures than from any success. His income had tripled, but more importantly, he'd woken up excited about his life again. He'd stopped swimming in circles. The transition hadn't been smooth. There were nights he couldn't pay himself. Weeks where he questioned everything. Moments where the old job looked golden in retrospect. But every time he felt the pull back toward comfort, he remembered William's fish. He remembered what happens when you adapt to confinement. My friend, Marcus's story is your story. Right now, at this very moment, you're making a choice. You're either expanding into the person you're capable of becoming, or you're contracting into the smaller, safer version that fits inside your current circumstances. Your comfort zone isn't protecting you. It's quietly eroding your potential, one unchallenged day at a time. The dreams you've shelved, the business you haven't started, the conversation you haven't had, the application you haven't submitted, they're not waiting patiently. They're dying of neglect. But here's the truth that changes everything. You don't need to make massive changes overnight. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow or risk everything recklessly. You just need to do what Marcus did. Force yourself to take one small action outside your comfort zone today. Here are 3 steps you can start right now. First, identify one dream or goal you've been avoiding because it feels risky or uncomfortable. Write it down. Be specific. Not, "I want to be successful, but I want to launch a photography business," or "I want to apply for that senior position." Second, commit to just 30 minutes tomorrow morning working on that goal. Just 30 minutes. Before emails, before the day's demands swallow you, give 30 minutes to your future self. Third, find your William. Seek out one person who's already doing what you want to do. Buy them coffee, ask them questions, learn from their journey. Surrounding yourself with people who've left their aquariums makes it easier to leave yours. The life you want is on the other side of the action you're avoiding. Your comfort zone feels safe, but it's actually the most dangerous place you can be because it lets you believe that standing still is the same as being okay. It's not. You're either growing or shrinking, moving forward or sliding backward. There's no neutral. So force yourself to take that action today. Your future self is counting on you. Comment below what's the one action you've been avoiding that you're going to tackle this week. Let's build accountability together. And if this story spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes we all need a reminder that we weren't built for aquariums. We were built for oceans.